requires ensuring the right balance of regulation and freedom. India's ongoing structural reforms, whether it is asset monetization, disinvestment, and digital public infrastructure, all are geared towards unlocking market potential and deepening competition. So, in this year's Union Budget, I have mentioned the importance of a light touch regulatory framework based on principles and trust to unleash productivity and employment. In the same vein, regulators must be guided by the principle of minimum necessary, maximum feasible in order to balance regulatory vigilance with a pro-growth mindset. Again, in this year's budget, I had announced that the requirements and the procedures for speedy approval of company mergers will be rationalized, and the scope for fast-track mergers will also be widened and the process be made simpler. So, in addition to the traditional challenges, recent years have also seen the emergence of new challenges. Artificial intelligence technologies raise novel questions about market power, transparency, data access, algorithmic biases, and also scope of competitive harm. Free and fair digital markets are challenged by the emergence of gatekeeper platforms, asymmetries in data access, and cross-border implications of digital business models. The rise of cross-border digital monopolies demands global cooperation and agile regulations. Since before the G20 India presidency, and more particularly after the G20 India presidency, we've been taking up on global cooperation and also global understanding and regulation as well. I'm pleased to note that the Competition Commission's proactive engagement and commendable progress in building internal capacity to address traditional and emerging challenges. Over the years, the Commission has effectively utilized market studies as a powerful non-enforcement tool to deepen its understanding of emerging sectors, identify potential competition issues, and build consensus among stakeholders. The recently initiated market study by the CCI on artificial intelligence and competition is a timely and strategic initiative. The establishment of Digital Markets Division is also a timely move and is expected to become a center of excellence in understanding technology markets, forging into regulatory partnership and engaging in global disclosures. The discourse can also be widened by such a center of excellence. The establishment of regional offices has also enhanced the CCI's capabilities and accessibility to the companies and responsiveness to stakeholders across states. As market deepen and diversify across India, it is important that the CCI continues to be approachable and visible. Holding awareness camps, stakeholder consultations, and compliance workshops in different parts of the country would help. And that would help in building a more informed ecosystem and making competition principles more widely understood and followed. CCI's role in the competition assessment of such instruments is also crucial. And that is because we do not want competitive markets to be influenced only by business conduct but also by government policies, laws and regulation, entry barriers, licensing norms, or procurement rules can also create distortion. In today's interconnected and fast-paced economy, delays in regulatory clearance can lead to uncertainty, disrupt commercial timelines, and potentially erode the intended value of transactions. And globally, it has an impact even as we negotiate free trade agreements with different countries, because the ability, the nimbleness, and the readiness of our regulators is very keenly watched by investors. There is no need for me to underline the importance of that, but that has a very serious connotation when you're looking at fairly within reasonable time agreeing on some free trade agreements. So whether it is litigation, whether it is time consumed in litigation, or whether when regulators are less transparent, negotiations can get complicated. It is therefore imperative that regulatory frameworks, while maintaining rigorous oversight, also facilitate swift and seamless approvals for combinations that pose no harm to competition. I'm also pleased to note that the Commission introduced a green channel mechanism in response to this need, which is a trust-based, risk-calibrated approach, which allows the automated approval of combinations that are deemed to have no appreciable adverse effect on competition in order to reduce transaction costs and timelines for benign mergers and acquisitions. The Competition Amendment Act of 2023 has been an important landmark in the evolution of the competition law in India, strengthening the Commission's enforcement capabilities while simultaneously creating a more facilitative and transparent regulatory framework. One of the key provisions of the Amendment Act was the inclusion of transaction value thresholds, mandating that all deals valued above 2,000 crores now require prior notification to the Competition Commission of India. This is particularly relevant in the digital economy where asset-light business models and high-value acquisitions may escape traditional asset or turnover-based thresholds. In parallel, a merger review timeline have also been introduced from 210 days to 150 days, enabling quicker regulatory decisions that align with the fast-moving nature of the global business transactions. By broadening the scope of anti-competitive agreements, the Act also equips the Commission to better address modern, complex forms of collusion. Further, the introduction of the settlement